You are listening to 4Geeks podcast. We talk about business, technology, and provide advice on how entrepreneurs can grow their companies. Hope you enjoyed this conversation.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 4Geeks podcast. As always, me, Sergio, I'm be with you all this podcast, and as always too, Allan. How are you, Allan?
Hey Sergio, hey guys, thanks for listening a new episode of the 4Geeks podcast. Today we have a very special episode because we will talk about a new technique, a new skill to automate business. But first, I will say that we are starting some webinars and we're starting some blog posts that we want to share with you. So please go to 4geeks.io/lab webinars to check out all the past and the coming the coming webinars, and go to 4geeks.io/blog to check all the new blog posts. Writing about technology, about business, about process, about blockchain, about AI. But well, Sergio, let's start. Let's talk about robotic process automation.
Yeah, man, and that's what we want to talk today. The robotic automation processes, and that's basically to program common tasks or processes. Through AI, and creating chatbots or creating any or automate any process you can imagine at company level, at product level, and the thing is to automate every process, like customer service, like automate report delivery. So imagine you are in a meeting with all the executive team, and you have to run a report about something with robotic process. You can display a report on live wise, right? That's basically what we want with the robotic automation process.
Yeah, exactly. I think, Sergio, robotic process automation, or RPA, is not a new player. It's a old player. It's a old player that we can now merge with some new technologies like AI, for example, to understand how to respond to any specific situation or to any specific event. And the thing is that we can merge the RPA and the AI, for example, to build a chatbot to process data or to process customer requests or to process anything and save that data on our internal system, for example, ERP, for example, or CRM or whatever internal system that we already have. I mean, there are a lot of myths that some people are saying about.
No, just a question. You're saying that this RPA is more than a chatbot, right?
Yeah.
So we can build different solutions for automate process. It's more like a technology or a way to improve process than a simple chatbot, right?
Yeah, for example, the chatbot is on the front desk, The chatbot is on the front desk. The chatbot receive all the requests and send the data to our PA, to trigger all the functions, all the events, and all the data manipulations. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead with the RPA
exactly.
myths.
Yeah, there are some myths, Sergio, that we will talk about in this episode. For example, myth number one is RPI is just for big companies.
False.
It's false. Yeah, exactly. It's false. I think. What do you think about that?
Well, basically, what I see here is that, for example, let's put the scenario where the startups are. So basically, like as a startup, you may want to automate some process for focusing on different ones, like getting investment or whatever you need to focus yourself and not on other process.
Yeah.
And I think this is where we can go with automation process, robotic process. We can imagine, or we might imagine that I don't have to automate any process because it's not the time, we don't have the budget, and I mean, just a big company need it. But what do you think? I mean, I may know that you are on the same page with me.
Yeah, well, talking about budget, Sergio, I think the budget will never a problem, will never an issue. The issue is exactly in the owner's mindset, you know.
Okay.
And how do you make business and how do you handle problems? For example, Sergio, thanks to modern technology, today small and big companies can access the same benefits. That's for example the difference. It's on their owner's mindset. So RPI is not only for big companies in terms of money and infrastructure. The investment is proportional to the quantity of customer employees. I mean, when we plan to scale and when we plan to make a robust company, we need to invest always the last, you know, and by using technologies like chatbots, like AI, or like robotic process automation, we can access. We, as a small company, for example, we can access the same benefit that big company has. For example, all the customer service automation, all the marketing automation.
And you don't have to figure out to have a team dedicated for that.
Exactly.
Okay, I see it now.
We can use robots, or we can use bot employees to make the hard work. You know?
Okay.
Well, myth number 2: RPA is expensive. RPA is expensive. Well,
isn't?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. I mean, all the initial process cost, you know.
Yeah.
For example, databases, servers, networks, and all consulting that have a cost. But if you put in balance, the investment versus the return of investment, the ROI, for example, you can measure and you can always try to figure out how your investment will be to get a new return or investment. So you don't need to put all your money on the table. You don't need to put all your money. You don't need to go to the banks. You don't need to raise money. You don't need to do anything. You just need to start. You know. You just need to start small and growing step by step. What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally. As we talked before about the team, about have, for example, a dedicated team for customer service. We all know how difficult it is to maintain a customer service team. It can grow fast, a lot of faster, and it can be a difficult situation to handle. So with robotic process automation, I think, as you said, we have to do a first investment to put some money on the table at first stage. But what happens when you invest in that? You will have a 24/7 chatbot or bot working for you, with no excuses, and providing to all the different time zones, all the different people in different regions, the ability to communicate with you.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the road, what is cheaper, to pay for a server and to pay for the starting, as you said, or to pay for monthly for a dedicated team for customer service, having people at night and at day?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just for balance stuff. I think the RPA will win.
That's it. That's it. Well, Sergio, let's go to the myth number 3.
Okay.
RPA will replace humans.
Okay.
Maybe it will be scary for some people.
Yep, totally.
What do you think about that?
I'm scared.
What do you think about that?
Well, it totally depends on what the robotic process is doing. And for example, as I mentioned before, we can have robotic process automation on the for meetings, for automate our meetings with reports, with data. For example, let's say we are in a executive meeting and we want to run a specific report with voice. We can connect our Google Home and we can say, okay, Google, send us turn it off. Send us the last 10 new customers on this month. And the robot will present the chart or the table or whatever you can imagine. So it will save us time, but it won't replace humans. I mean, it is just making our life easier. So at some point, I think the robotic processes will replace some humans, like for example in the customer service. But there are other humans that will have to be under the stage, making the chatbot better, or having ideas on how to increase the robot target or something like that. So there's might be a dead end on some positions, but there's another opportunities on other new positions.
Yeah. Well, Sergio, I don't know exactly if we need to be scared about chatbots or about RPA or AI or whatever. I think the modern CEOs and CTOs and CMOs need to face that situation by looking for looking for all the vast skills and all the vast skills from the RPI or from the chatbot. That I mean that the chatbots, as you said, Sergio, will help us to make better decisions or to take better decisions, and not to take my job or to take my chair. You know, I mean.
It will provide other work on other areas, like maintaining chatbots or getting new ideas for chatbot.
Competition is hard. Competition is so hard. So, and now we need to learn to compete with chatbots.
Okay.
with AI. Or
Let's say that is a new opportunity for humans.
Exactly.
Okay.
A new opportunity for humans. Exactly.
Okay.
Well,
good topic, by the way.
yeah. Let's go, Sergio, to the myth number 4. RPI and AI chatbots are the same thing. Well, let me explain that. I mean, as I said before, chatbots are on the front desk. Mm-hmm. For example, when you go to getting customer support by chat in on your bank, okay? When you chat, when you chat with the person or with a robot or with whatever, and you say, hey, can you please give me my bank overview or whatever, maybe the chatbot will take that information or will take your request, the customer request, and will send that information to a core to a core system, for example, an RPI. That we can trigger some events, or that we can trigger some data manipulation, or that we can trigger some task with your data. So chatbot is on the front end and RPI is on the back end, basically.
Yeah, and I want to see it like chatbot is a product of an RPA. It's like RPA to chatbots is what blockchain is to Bitcoin, for example. Bitcoin is a product of a blockchain, and chatbots is a product of, or are a product for RPA. Yep. So basically,
it's a platform that runs.
Yeah, exactly. They are not the same, but in this case, chatbots will need RPA, or they are based on RPA to build their structure, their born reasons.
Okay, well, Sergio, now let's talk about some benefits. I mean,
there are a lot, I can imagine.
How we can get benefits from API. How we can get a return on investment in one areas. So we have some notes here, and we will talk with you guys of some benefits. So let's start with number 1.
Well, number 1 in these notes you mentioned is the precision in quality of work. So that's basically to improve quality, to improve the customer or whatever person engagement, and provide that life easier, saver we want to do with the RPA.
Okay, exactly. Number 2.
Sorry. I will go ahead with this, and this is to minimizing the errors. So, basically, we are humans. We tend to get wrong, to fail.
Yeah.
It's our nature, man.
Yeah.
So basically, if we reduce that risk, it will be better for business. Okay. There are some things that we cannot avoid to be done by humans, but there are others, like the robotic process automation ones, that can be improved.
In what areas, Sergio, we can implement RPA to reduce the risk of errors?
In customer service.
Okay.
Someday your operator can have a family issue, a personal issue, and he or she will speak with your clients in a tough way, or roughly. So you probably you will get an angry customer because your operator is not on the mood that day.
Yeah.
We are humans. We have feelings, right?
Yeah.
But a robot doesn't have feelings. That's the good thing. The robot will be always on the same situation.
Yeah, robots just understand data.
Yeah, exactly. They just process data and that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Number two.
Number
you can
two.
Go ahead.
Let's go. Process monitoring to the lowest level possible. QA automation, for example. I mean,
if you are not able to measure something to check metrics, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't work at all because you need to check and monitor every process.
Exactly, to improve performance.
To improve. That's it.
Okay, cool. Number 3 is actions can be recorded, analyzed, and then optimized for better performance in the future executions.
That's almost the same than before we talked, and that's it. I mean, if we want to get better, we will have to revise every process, even if the process is a robotic process, right? Like humans, or like, for example, at 4Geeks, we always want to improve our communication skills, our delivering skills, and we always measure that performance and improve. That's the exactly same thing with the robotics process automation.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Okay, well, next one is scalable and flexible.
Yeah, having these metrics, having these performance metrics, we can have decisions or make decisions on what is next for the robotic process automation. So if we have to improve, we have that ability to scale and change quickly. That's
Sergio, a single chatbot or a single bot can handle or can manage a tons of requests, a tons of people, a tons of or people calling your call center, for example.
Yeah, and like another
single bot,
application, you can scale it to accept more and more and more.
Exactly. Well, the next one we were talk about that is availability, 24/7 a week.
All days, 365.
All days, always, day, night, always.
There's no time zone
Holidays,
for a chatbot.
Yeah, that's it. Higher speed and true output.
Yeah, that's basically that for customers, they wouldn't have to wait for an answer. I mean, it happened to me sometime that I'm on the bank chat, for example, and I'm waiting for some agent answer an urgent question about my balance, about my credit card or whatever, and you have to wait minutes for a valuable answer. And with a chatbot, you will basically have real-time answer. So speed, it's amazing. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Next one, Sergio, security. Well, Sergio, have you seen how Twilio, how Google, and how some tech startups can implement some login validations to improve the security level by using two-way authentication? For example, when you want to log in a new computer in a new place, the system will SMS you or will call you automatically.
Or even with an app like Google, like
the
Google Authenticator or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
To authenticate that you are the real user and you have the right permissions to access that profile. It's a bot working doing that. It's a bot doing that. So it's a very, very good benefit that we can get from bots.
Yeah, I agree totally with you. And other benefit is the possibility of continuous learning and improvement, and that's because the machine learning skills. So the idea of a robotic process is not just to metric, not just on improve, but also to learn learn on how the customers or how the company behaves, and based on that we can continue improving, right?
Yep, that's it.
I think those are the main benefits. We can talk this podcast not to. There are a lot of more, and we can go with more. But let's go ahead with some usages that I think it's important to make a good explanation about what the PRA is.
RPI is, yeah. Well, we can use that technology, the bots or the RPA in some industries. For example, the tourism, or when you, Sergio, when you want to make a booking, or to order a hotel for you, or to order a destination. I mean, if you want to book the a hotel, you can do it. All the flow process can do it automatically by a bot. I mean, you can go, for example, to Expedia, or you can go to Booking.com or wherever, and you can end the process
Without clicks.
Exactly, with the hotel room, with the vacations schedule ready,
Okay.
And you don't need to talk with a human, and you don't need to make anything. I mean, all the process can be handled and can be managed by a bot, by RPA.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I can imagine the day I just send some instructions about on how they have to make my reservation, like using the Google voice assistant, and they make my reservation for me.
That's cool.
Only with dates and budget, and that's it.
That's clear. Well, pay automation systems. For example, Google 4Geeks payments. Sergio, we can use RPA process, to handle and to process payments. For example, PayPal, Braintree, Stripe, Conecta in Mexico, 4Geeks payments in Costa Rica. That systems and that systems can handle automatically all the request payments, and can check if a cardholder can the balance is okay, and is the car is on date, or if anything is okay, the bot system can process the payment, And I think Sergio is a very good example, and how our RPI can be used.
Sure, totally. And as you said, here at 4Geeks Payments, we use those kind of technology.
Yep. Well, marketing, online campaigns, how we can implement the RPA in online campaigns in marketing to automate my
Google AdWords?
Yeah, to automate my selling process, my sales funnel process.
Okay.
Yeah, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, now MailChimp has a marketing platform inside. So and now in MailChimp you can set up online campaigns automatically, and your ads can be published on Facebook and Google and whatever. Well, the final one is e-commerce. Okay, e-commerce is very easy and is predictable and is, I mean, if you want to buy anything, all the process right now, for example, in Amazon, is managed by a bot. Every single process. When you open your computer to buy a microphone, for example, until your microphone go to your home, all the process is managed by bot. You know.
Okay. Yeah. The all the sales cycle. I think it's easier for using robotic process automation for sure, and that's a success. As you said, at this right moment, it's a success hit on the e-commerce platforms. Okay. Those are some usages. There are more as we talk about the benefits. There are more usages. We can describe better in a blog or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. We can keep talking about that in maybe new episodes in this podcast or in blog posts.
Yeah, sure.
So guys, thanks so much for listening. Remember to find us on iTunes, on Nightbox, or TuneIn. Subscribe from your mobile phone and listen even if you are working or even if you are in the gym or in whatever place.
Coding,
yeah, making whatever. So don't forget, if you plan to invest in RPA, drop us an email.
Yeah, sure. We are there to help any new product using these rockstar technologies. Thank you, Allan, and thank you all the listeners we have at the 4Geeks podcast. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can subscribe from the podcast tapped on your device so you can listen to the latest episodes. Don't forget to rate us. That helps us reach out to more people. If you want to get the best out of your business, feel free to contact us at 4geeks.io/contact.